Are people moving to Austin, Texas and regretting it? Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor. A while ago, I actually broke down and did a video talking about a guy who moved from California to Austin and hated it. And because of that, I put out this super scientific poll on YouTube asking if people moving from California to Austin are hating it. And the results show about 30% of people say they regret moving to Austin, Texas. And because of great people like you, in the comments, I found this comment talking about how Tim Dillion moved to Austin and he hated it. And then I went down the Tim Dillion rabbit hole and I watched the video. And so we'll comment about what Tim Dillion said, why he's leaving Austin. Other thing we're going to go through, we're going to talk about this poll. We're going to talk about some of the reasons why people actually might regret moving to Austin. And you'll be surprised that a realtor will actually tell you this. And you're probably going to pound in the comments, Jeremy, you're a realtor, you're supposed to be selling Austin. Look, I'm one of those people who likes to be super honest with my clients, and I'll tell you all the pros and cons of everything. So that's why I do these videos. So make sure you drop a comment below and subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. But let's break down some of the things Tim Dillion says. Now look, a lot of people have moved here since the pandemic, like Joe Rogan, you have Elon Musk, a lot of really important people. There's a lot of people who have moved to Austin that you really didn't know about as well. They're pretty high profile people. So a lot of people are moving here, but are they actually regretting it? According to Tim Dillion,
I don't care. It has been forever a community of sloth-like people. Truly, slugs. Slugs.
I don't really appreciate him saying that. Look, he's a comedian and he's going to say things for clicks. There are a lot of great people in Austin and there are not some great people in Austin. And that goes the same for really any city. In previous videos I've done, I've actually talked about how much I love the people in Austin and how much I love the people in and around the Austin area. Really, the Texas culture is a very loving culture. And so that's one thing that I absolutely love. Now, look, if you're downtown Austin and you don't like some of those people in the comedy scene, I totally get it. I'm not saying Tim Dillion's wrong, but he might not have been hanging around the right people. The other thing that Tim Dillion said was that the food here sucks. We are a one-trick pony, something like that, and that we only have brisket here and pretty much hipsters. Now, look, Austin is a weird place and we do have a lot of interesting, amazing people, and that's what I like about it. But his comments about barbecue, well, he actually went on to say that Joe Rogan loves Terry Black's, and he said Terry Black's is not good barbecue.
There's two places that make good barbecue, and they're not Terry Black's. It's Franklin and La Barbecue, and it's 9 hours line.
Let me tell you this, Joe Rogan, Terry Black's is not the best barbecue. Tim Dillion is right. In fact, if you want a good barbecue spot, try Valentina's Tex-Mex barbecue. That's the best, hands down, and it's not that hard to get into. But here's the deal. Austin food, we're a fast battle down the middle with Tex-Mex and barbecue. Now look, there's a lot of other great restaurants out there, but if you're trying to go to a really amazing spot on every single street corner, you're probably not going to find it in Austin and be disappointed in the food. And this is something I've seen in the comments several times in a few of my videos, is people don't like the food in Austin, and I don't blame them. There are some good spots, but there are also some not great spots. So Tim Dillion went on to say a lot of other things, but here are the things that I think that if you're moving to Austin, that if you're moving for these reasons, you might absolutely regret it. A lot of people are moving here because they're leaving California or somewhere else, and they're trying to get out of whatever mandates are there or the taxes, and they think Austin is more affordable and different from those places, but similar from those places. Well, the challenge is that property taxes, yes, you don't have an income tax in Texas, but property taxes in and around the Austin area are very expensive. Cost of living in Austin is not cheap. Now, if you're comparing to a lot of places, and I've done videos comparing California and Austin prices, Austin, yes, is cheaper. The MSA, the outside area, can be cheaper depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from other places, it is quite expensive. The median in Austin is $575, and $575 doesn't really get you a big, beautiful house like you think. In fact, a lot of people that try to move out here and say, Jeremy, I want half an acre or 3,000 square feet for under 500K, that just does not exist anymore in this market. So if you're moving out here just for it to be cheaper, that's probably not the best reason. And if you're moving out here just strictly for a job, like let's say you got a job reload from whatever company and that's the only reason why you're moving out here, well, you might not like Austin as much. You know, I've heard a lot of people talk about the tech scene being great, but not actually liking the tech scene here in Austin. So, you know, I would do your due diligence and look into the tech scene and make sure you actually like it in Austin. Now look, there's a lot of great things about Austin. Austin is one of these cities that does a lot of outdoor fun events and a lot of outdoor fun stuff. Now the problem is, and what Tim Dillion said in his video at that time was it had been freezing and we went through a freeze. Yes, I agree. You're probably asking why the hell I am wearing a jacket in this video. Right now in Austin, it's 30 degrees outside. So yeah, if you're coming for fun in the sun, great weather, the weather here isn't always great. So know what you're getting into. I've lived in Phoenix, I've lived in Southern California, I've lived in Central California. The weather is definitely different here. Honestly, I still prefer it over some of those other places. So that's another reason. Now, Tim Dillion went on to talk about the crime and the homeless population. Now, when he did this video, we were still experiencing a large amount of homeless people on the streets. Voters in Austin actually voted to reinstate the camping ban where you couldn't camp everywhere. And so that was part of the problem, is that people were camping everywhere. Now, I know you're going to hit in the comments and say mean things about me, that I'm talking about the homeless situation and I don't care about people. That's not the case. Look, if you're going to fly into a city and then see homelessness everywhere, trash everywhere, it is going to impact the feeling, and a lot of people did not like that. Now, what we've done with some of those people is we've put them in housing and things like that. Is the problem better? Is it fixed? No, I am not saying that at all. It still definitely needs help. But as far as a lot of people being on the streets, that's not as prevalent. Yes, still a problem. Please don't blow me up in the comments and say I'm so mean. But the other thing he was talking about, there was a shooting at that time, and talking about shooting. Now look, do your due diligence and look into the crime stats. You know, there's going to be people that tell you the crime has not changed, it's fine, only murders are up, or they're going to tell you that the crime is out of control. I will just tell you this, as a real estate agent, and you know, people complain on my channel or write comments that realtors are taking off crime statistics. Well, Realtor.com and some of these other places did. Realtors are not. There are rules where I can't talk about specific things, and one of the things I'm really not allowed to talk about as a realtor is crime statistics because of redlining and a lot of different reasons. So I will tell you this, look at AustinCrimeMap.com, do your own due diligence and look at the crime. But crime in every city is going to be an issue, and it is an issue in Austin as well. So do your due diligence when you're looking at places to live. So some of the other things that I hear people say that they regret about Austin versus living in California is not being close enough to the beach. And I agree with that. You know, I lived in San Diego, I lived in Central Cali, and it was a 2-hour drive to get to the beach, and it was a 2-hour drive to go snowboarding. You don't really have that in Austin. Parts of Texas you do if you're going to live in Houston, but Houston sucks. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of Houston. I've never hidden that. And Katie Day, who's been on my channel, is also, you know, her and I have gotten into it several times about that issue. But the thing is it is a 3+ hour drive to the beaches, and they're not the same as California, but they are warmer. I love Sal Padre. It's a 5-hour drive from Austin. I think Sal Padre is an amazing place. Now look, there's a lot of lakes and fun things to do in Austin. If you're moving to Austin to get away from some of the politics that you're seeing in your city, that's another reason people might regret moving to Austin. Look, bestplaces.net, I'll drop a link below, is a place that if you want to look at voting history and how we voted, you can see that. So it might not be that different. So make sure you're not moving to Austin for the politics, because that's something that you might regret as well. So you're probably saying, Jeremy, I can't believe you're talking about some of these hot button topics and they're getting angry. But look, here's the deal. I've been in Austin for 10 years. From then till now, things have changed. There's good and bad that comes with that. And I like to give people the good and bad, because if you come here thinking that Austin is just this great, beautiful place, it might not live up to your expectations. And so I want people to be realistic, come enjoy the city, and know what you're getting into. And there's just so many things I still love about Austin. I hope you love it too. Catch you on the next video.